Hi, I'm Diana Waring, and I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to be talking about how our lives, yours and mine, are woven by God into a beautiful and meaningful tapestry. Even though our lives may feel crazy, spinning wildly around us, there really is an amazing pattern that's being woven from the threads of our everyday experiences, even through our losses and challenges and difficulties. So to illustrate, I'd like to tell you a story. 40 years ago, I went to college in the northwest corner of Washington State. One of the first people I met was Mary Beth, who loved music every bit as much as I did. As we started singing together, we found that our voices harmonized so well that eventually her musician husband couldn't even tell whose voice was whose. That's pretty tight harmonies. I gotta tell you that this was a dream come true for me. Getting to sing with someone as gifted as Mary Beth was magical. But when we graduated, which college students tend to do, and we moved to different cities, all of that came to an end. It was really sad, and honestly, it left a huge hole in my heart. Not only did I lose the joy of a see you every day friendship, I also lost my perfect singing partner. Fast forward 20 years, I was now a homeschool mom living in the Black Hills of South Dakota, researching and writing a history curriculum on the Middle Ages and church history. Because I loved music, I'd always tried to find ways to include it in history studies, but this time it was really challenging to find music that families would enjoy for this particular time period. And then it dawned on me, hymns of the church, that'd be perfect. Those would be great to use. Historic music, great words readily available. And it just so happened that I knew a woman with an extensive personal library of church hymnals and the histories of those hymns. She was happy to let me read and gather to my heart's content. So all was going swimmingly until the last chapter of my curriculum when I suddenly realized, oh no, I've included all of these mostly obscure hymns that nobody's ever heard before. Even if I print out the words, they won't know the tunes. And most probably aren't musicians who can figure it out. People are gonna hate this if I can't make it work. What do I do now? And it was at that moment that Mary Beth dropped into my heart. She was living 1,000 miles away from me, and we'd only seen each other a handful of times since college. But I knew that she'd continued to grow as a vocalist and pianist, performing and teaching music in the Seattle area. So I called her and I asked, could you help me? I needed her to record a CD of obscure hymns in time for the release of my curriculum. And amazingly, my dear friend Mary Beth agreed to this last-minute crazy request. She had to come up with new arrangements to go with the traditional melodies, and then she had to actually record it. She needed vocalists in a recording studio, et cetera, et cetera. She worked with a local jazz conductor who was so good that he went to work for Bobby McFerrin shortly after, and he was the producer. Somehow, even though the time pressure was huge, Mary Beth pulled it off. And it was so much better than I could have ever imagined. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, I was talking with some college students, and it dawned on me that I could share a bit of the music Mary Beth had recorded with them. It was astonishing to see them visibly relax as they took in the beauty of these historic hymns. They looked at each other and said, "This is so peaceful. I want to keep listening." Now, some folks would call it luck that I happen to know someone capable of helping me get out of this jam. In fact, there's even a word for it, serendipity. But honestly, I think it's better explained by these words, someone watching over me. God weaving this friendship and that need and this music and those students. You and I are not alone. God is faithfully leading us and loving us, and a beautiful pattern is becoming visible in our lives. So here's my friend, Mary Beth, singing, Lord Jesus, think on me.
Lord Jesus, think on me, and purge away my sin. From earth-born passions set me free, and make me pure within. Lord Jesus, think on me, amid joy.